I hope you guys are doing well. I'm starting something a little different from what I do usually, so I'm gonna start this. Well, it's not necessarily a series, but I want to do it more. So I will talk about my creative process from when I do concept pieces. And yeah, so I thought I would start with the castle that I made recently. So this is my piece that is inspired by the movie The Swan Castle. So I will talk about how I made it, where I get my ideas, how I sketch, and I work a lot with 3D, so I hope I can give you a glimpse of my creative process throughout this video. So the first thing I do when I get some ideas is do a research, and I will take a lot of notes, either in my sketchbook or in PureRef direct. If you have seen my previous video about just the painting process, I found out that the movie was inspired by the Swan Lake from Tchaikovsky, and Tchaikovsky inspired himself from tales from Germany and Russia. So it was during the Renaissance, so I thought I would kind of integrate more of the Renaissance architecture in this design. So I went and find some references about Renaissance castle, especially from Germany and Russia, as this was the main inspiration for the story. And when I get enough references that I like, I kind of select the ones that I think will inspire me the most about the mood and the ambience that I want to do in the shot. So I gather them together, and at the time I was doing the castle, I was not sure if I would do my first piece from day or from night. I want to do a night version somewhere, but I decided to start with the day. So yeah, so you can see that in my this is PureRef. PureRef is a little software where I put all my images for doing my mood board. So when I clean it up, you have like all the references that I really liked from the movies, and the references that inspired me the most from Russia and Germany architecture. So yeah, so I gathered this together, and then I go and I start with that. When I have all my references that I really like, the first thing I do is I sketch some studies about stuff that I would like to integrate to the art that I will make. So this is just some sketches that I did in my sketchbook as a reference. I did other ones, but you can see just a couple of what I do, and some really rough sketches about just what I would like to do as a setting for the piece. So this is completely rough. You can see that it's not super pretty. Then I will go for a personal piece like I did. I often go directly in 3D, and I don't sketch too much. But when I'm doing some client work, or when I'm working for a studio, well, I will do many sketches and many revision with the team and with the art director. And but this time I'm the only member of the team, and I'm the only art director, so I can choose to just do the strict minimum, I would say. And then in Blender, each time that I kind of think this could be improved, I will do a sketch. I use the annotation tool in Blender mainly, and I will just sketch on top of what I'm doing, just to see like, oh, maybe I will add like a fountain here. Maybe this will be the door. Maybe I can add like some pieces here and there. Like, what would be the shape on top? What would be, the layout? Oh, this is a little blank. What could I add? So I will just sketch on top of it. So just to, problem solve some parts that I think could be better. So we're in Blender right now, and so this is all the gray parts that I did. For this piece, I really wanted to do almost everything by myself. So the only thing that I did not do by myself was the little swan here, and the base of the light. I grabbed it and tweaked it from a free model, and the same here for the base of the trees. So I mainly, when I use free stuff, it's stuff that is It's free to use either on Sketchfab or on Quicksale Bridge. So this is like the first. It's pretty advanced, if I can say, as a blocking. This is kind of the base 3D model that I will texture and I will light after that. So I didn't record every steps of my gray blocking making, but you can see me just modeling some windows and some trims. So this was mostly at the end of the modeling process. So obviously I started with boxes and just laying out my castle and really finding the shapes that I wanted. But you can see me here just adding some little parts here and there so it can get a little more finished before I go in textures. You can also see that even if this will not be my final composition, every time I'm making something, I kind of test it in the camera view just to see if I like it. And sometimes it can give me an idea of what the composition I will work with at the end. But I usually take a step, at the end of the process just to really make sure that this is the exact angle view that I really want. I'm not modeling properly, if I can say. I'm just really modeling for my own needs. Obviously, it's not completely, made up and unusable, but it's not perfect. Like if I was to put this in a game, I would definitely need a little cleanup pass. But it's good enough for my needs. Now we have the textured model, so this is all the textures applied to our model here. So it's pretty basic. I will add many more stuff in Photoshop, but this does the work for the lighting and for at least the textures that I want, that I think would be maybe a little bit too rough to paint and by hand, like bricks or stuff like that are really, that need styling. So this is the stuff that I will spend a little more time just to make sure it's the sizing is okay and it works. And you can see, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but you can see that I always put a reference of a body just to see if the scale is okay. And yeah, so this is pretty much it for the texturing part. So when I texture again, I use mainly textures from Quicksale Bridge that I tweak. Other than that, I might use some textures that I made or some textures from free places. I know that right now it's not free anymore, I think, but I used to use a lot of texture.com imagery. But any library of textures or photo textures that you can use it's super good. And I tweaked it directly in Blender for the colors, and if I want to add more normal map or some things like that, I just tweaked it directly in Blender. Again, I don't really need to make it proper and to make it perfect. I can just use the textures so it does the trick for me. It does the best thing for me, you know. I might use some material projection, just some like texture projection, photo projection. I don't really know. I'm just like kind of trying here and there to find what I want. And for this piece here, it was not super complicated as it is mainly made of bricks and rocks. So, you know, it's not the most complicated piece material-wise. I've done many different things that required me to just, you know, take a little bit more time. Sometimes I kind of integrate my own textures also, so I can make exactly what I want and to save me time in painting. So this is really the steps that I try to think about everything that would be easier to be in 3D than to make in painting. I do it in this 3D space as much as I can. And you can see at the end of the process, I kind of test my textures also with a rough lighting and rough cameras that I might adjust after that. Alright, so about cameras, so I will, when I try to find my shot, I will add, I will just really try a lot of different angles to see what would really be the best. So you can see here I really tried many different cameras to see what could I be working on, and I ended up working with the first one that we saw together, so this one. After that I light it. I mainly do my lighting in Eevee at first. For lighting I use a HDR as a base, and then I add my sun and I add some lights. This shot was pretty simple as a lighting, so it was not too complicated. I make renders in Eevee and in cycles for the bounce light, because I think the bounce light looks way better. So yeah, so this is the base, and also after that I will export a lot of different layers like mask, and also I will export layers like mist to help me define my my atmospheric perspective, and also maybe I will use like some diffuse light or some shadows that I can enhance in Photoshop, and also the ambient occlusion I like to use to add a little bit of depth to the things. And then I go with all those layers, I go into Photoshop and then I paint. So I already did a little video about the painting specifically, so I will kind of skip a bit of this part, and I will reference the video that you can go and see about this part. But in this part I will really add some layers and some grit, some perspective, some environment in there, and I will really add whatever it takes to make my image pop and go the way I want. Well, my concept is done. Something that I do that is really important in game concept art is a callout. So this is a scene, just a little reference sheet that I will add some notes for the team. And even if it's a personal project, I like to do those. I think these are fun, and I can just put what I had in mind. If ever I want to do another shot, you know, I have those traces of what was my backstory, so I don't need to just keep my head full of those. So you can see here I just put it a layout shot and just indicated what was what. So you can go by land to just go enter the castle, or you can come by boats. And at the behind the castle would be another terrain with the Swan Lake there. And you can see a shot of the silhouette of the castle from the side and from the front. So this is where I have, you know, the castle right now. I will also add some some references for what I used. So this is always super useful in game production for the team that will do the texture and the modeling. So you can see here I just take, because for when I did the texture I used mainly textures from Quixel. So the textures from Quixel I will reference there, and I will also reference some more details that I did here. You can see the little details of the fountain, the wing shape trim, some references that I had for the door, some trim details, and also some color references that I found really cool, a texture for the roofing, the tower details of what is made, and also window details. So anything that I think will be useful for the team for what they model it, I will put in there. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the callouts. So yeah, so that's about it for the process of how I do a concept piece. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you have any questions, please leave a comment. I'll do my best to answer. And yeah, if ever there is if it was something that you really liked, that you like this kind of format of a video, please let me know. I want to do some more, and I want to get better, at communicating how my creative process, works, and so I can inspire, the next generation of concept artists in games. So yeah, I hope you liked it. And if you did, please leave a like, leave a comment, consider subscribing. Hope I can do some more videos like that in the future. And yeah, keep creating, guys, play games and have fun. And see you on another video. Bye!